is Alessa Dominioni, and I'm MBA 2018, and I have the pleasure of hosting this session with my colleague Clémence Pontuaire, as well as several key alumni leaders and HEC international offices in Africa. This is our fourth Booster HEC Network in regional webinar series, and there has been tremendous interest. So thank you very much to all of you for being with us tonight. Please note that this session is recorded. HEC alumni was ranked #1 in the world, a great recognition to the strength and the potential of our community. And we all chose Paris, HEC Paris, as a school that would boost our career, and creating connections with people is often the best way to do that. And this is also something Clémence and I experienced ourselves as part of the network team for HEC alumni. We have many people reach out to us saying, how can I connect? And can you help me connect? So we came up with this idea to do webinars on specific regions to give you an introduction to some of the main key HEC stakeholders, and we're excited to continue with this one around Africa. There will be more on the Middle East, Central and South Asia, and we hope to go around the world every year. Before we go into the presentation, we want to know more about you. So we ask you to all keep your mics off so that there's no background noise. But can you use the chat box? So we invite you to use the chat box to write your name, your promo, so your graduating class, and your country of residence. So where your feet are touching the floor right now, or where you usually live. We have people in the US, in Paris, some MBAs, Johannesburg, Greece. Older alumni, younger alumni, all the way to Mauritius. Nice background, a nice island.
Hi.
So welcome everyone. Feel free to use the chat box to give us your name, your class, and your country of residence. Great, so people from around the world, thank you everyone and welcome. So today, after a brief overview of HEC alumni services, our objective is to introduce you, thanks to our alumni leaders and international offices, to several countries in Africa. What is this not? Unfortunately, we do not promise a job at the end of this session. We won't cover all countries in Africa, nor can we answer very specific individual questions. However, we want this to be an overview of the region so that you have a better understanding of the markets, whether it's for a business or for a job, and that you know who to contact to take the conversation further after this session. Now, can I also ask you to take a few seconds to write again in the chat box what you're hoping to get from this session? This will help us build future sessions like these. We'll also send you a feedback form at the end, but can you write in the chat box why you joined this session and what you're hoping to get from it? Networking, market trends, building my network, learning about local business environments, some entrepreneurs out there as well. Some people moving to Africa in different countries. Some sector-specific information as well. Great, thanks for sharing. So feel free to keep sharing what you're hoping to get from this session. Now, before we go into the country-specific part of this presentation, a quick reminder of some of the alumni services that are available to you. You can find events and contacts on the hecalumni.fr website. So HEC Alumni hosts many events which don't only happen in Paris. We hosted over 600 webinars recently. And through the directory, you can also search people per class or name among the 68,000 HEC alumni around the world, or in specific sectors via the professional clubs or the international chapters on the networks page. People were saying develop my network in the energy sector, for example. We also have chapters in specific countries, as well as clubs in specific sectors. Remember to log in to get full access to contacts. And also, we please ask that you remember to update your information on the HEC alumni website. Database is as updated as our alumni are willing to update it. So if you haven't been there for a while, please remember to log in on hecalumni.fr and update your contact details. There's also a forgot my password option if you need that. Number 2, HEC Life Project. HEC Life Project is the new name for career services, which is the idea that HEC alumni wants to be there every step of your life project with 3 main focuses: building your project, being inspired to better innovate, and fulfilling your full potential. So you will find a range of events and online workshops around these. You also have access to job boards, HEC Pulse mentoring platform, and coaching access if you want to meet with professional coaches. And finally, a reminder that we are able to do all this thanks to those who pay their memberships, whether the Infinity Pass or the annual membership. So if you haven't subscribed yet and can, please consider it or contact our team to discuss. Make sure you also check the new HEC Stories magazine, as well as videos on podcast, including in English. And there's more information on the website on hecstories.fr. Now, let's get into the country-specific part of our presentation. There are over 2,000 alumni who are members of the African Chapters Network on HEC Alumni, within 14 international alumni groups, which we call chapters. And today we have alumni chapter leaders and international office directors from Morocco, Algeria, Senegal, Burkina Faso, Gabon, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and South Africa. We will also share names of contacts in other countries at the end who were not able to present with us today, and we will do our best to take your questions in the chat box. So we're now going to start with our first chapter in Morocco. Hamza, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Alissa. Thank you, Clémence, for organizing this. And hello, everyone, all of the joiners. So my name is Hamza. I'm HEC 2004, and I'm a chapter president in Morocco since last December, as we renewed our bureau here in Casablanca. So the chapter I saw on your map shows about 600 alumni. In reality, when you look at LinkedIn, according to the source, it's actually 1,300. But that's one of the challenges that we also have, and that's probably something for other chapters, is the ability to have a reliable database of all of our alumni, because people actually tend to move quite quickly and they don't necessarily update their profiles. So that's something that we hope to be solving over the next few months. A part of our alumni network covers most of the, let's say, the curricula that we have at HEC, be it Grande École, be it MBA, MBA, and all of the masters. We also have, because of the partnership between HEC and OCP University here in Morocco, a fair share of our alumni who actually went through at least a training or curricula with HEC at the school, which probably inflates our alumni number. The activities that our chapter plans to organize and that have already been started are our flagship event, which is the Matin HEC, where the idea for us is to invite a leader, be it from the public sector or the private sector, who can share his insights about him as a person and also talk about a relevant topic that makes the news at the moment. We already had our first session that was back in late Jan with the Ministry of Finance here in Morocco, and which we had to organize similar to what we are doing now through Zoom with only 20 people present. But the idea is that in future we have part of our network being present physically and attending that matin HEC. Next one is planned for just after Ramadan with hopefully the head of the CESE, Conseil économique, social et environnemental here in Morocco, Ahmed Rida Chami. We also plan to organize regularly conferences with high-profile invitees. In the past, we received the last three chefs du gouvernement, so head of the governments here in Morocco, and regularly, high profiles. It's going to be in conjunction with Matin HEC, but a little bit different because we have a little bit more openness as to the size of the conferences. The Matin HEC are exclusively open to our network. Conferences might be open to larger networks, especially some of our, other grandes écoles alumni networks, because we tend to try and mix every now and then. We also plan to, launch, initiatives around encouraging entrepreneurship projects within the HEC alumni community. We made the realization that there are actually within our network, not only, young entrepreneurs with great ideas, but also great mentors who are happy to help, and also people who are either willing to invest some of their money as business angels, or some of our alumni who are in banks who can help structure financing for those projects. So that's something that we plan to launch, and the idea is to probably identify and support anywhere between 3 to 5 projects a year for this initiative. Obviously, the chapter has also a goal, which is, casual networking. So we regularly have alumni drinks. In normal setup, it would be 6 times a year. Unfortunately, because of COVID restrictions, it's very difficult to do anything at the moment. And the one thing that we're planning is to have actually outdoor events around, a trek and a lunch outside in between Casablanca and Rabat. And one of the goals is also to have a gala, but that's pending COVID restrictions as well. In terms of the market landscape here in Morocco, so you have, for most of our alumni are working either in large local or regional companies, because we have some of our Moroccan companies who went into international expansion, mostly African-based, and mostly in the banking sector, telecom sector. We also have quite a good representation in the public sector, in multinational companies. And it happens that Morocco is also becoming more and more of a regional hub for advisory firms, be it in consulting, law firms, PE. And that's one of the initiatives that was launched by the Moroccan government around Casablanca Finance City, which is trying to be a financial and headquarters hub for regional headquarters for large companies. In terms of local tips for the network, well, obviously, because of the size and the representation, our community is actually quite well represented. So don't hesitate to use it as an entry point. And as stated earlier, our fellow other grandes écoles from France are also a great network to tap into. And we have strong links with them, so it's very easy to connect with our friends from Sciences Po, ESSEC, Polytechnique, Pont et Chaussée, and others. The key contacts, I could be the entry point, but our bureau is constituted by 7 other members. I can share, and I think the list is actually available on the Morocco chapter page on the HEC alumni.fr. And I think most of our, let's say, team members from the chapter actually have their email addresses and contact details updated. So don't hesitate to reach out in case of any questions. I don't know if I'm within the timeline.
Perfect, Hamza. That's great. Thank you very much. And again, an encouragement to use the hecalumni.fr website to get access to all the chapters. Great. We're now going to move on to our next chapter with Sharian on Algeria.
Hello, everyone. So I represent the Algerian chapter, and I think what interests people today is networking to find a job. So I will try to concentrate on that. leave a comment if you are particularly interested in Algeria, and I'll try to give you more tailored feedback. So if you want to get a job in Algeria, the best way is to network. And HSC network is very powerful in Algeria. We have members of our chapter who hold executive positions in big companies. And we also work together with many other associations. So if you're trying to get a job, the best way is to reach out to these people, and I can give you the contact. You just have to send me an email, drop me an email, tell me who you want to reach out to, and I will get you the information you need. In Algeria, it's very important to, I think, get to know the people there, because everything is happening there, and a lot of recruitments happen inside the Algerian country between friends and between social networks. So it's very important to be in. And the best way is to get just an entry point, because if you get an entry point, everyone else is connected and it's very easy. So a good way would be, I don't know, to send your, to reach out to, for example, the French Algerian Chamber of Commerce and tell them I'm looking for a job in a bank, and they can send your CV to banks. We do hold like a special relationship with all these associations. So it will be easy to help you out if you have specific project, or if you're targeting a sector, and if you're looking for something specific. And it works for investment as well. So if you want to invest in Algeria, it's a bit difficult because you have to find a partner, a local partner. We can also help with that. And that's about it. I don't know if there are questions or if people have anything that they would like to ask. Go ahead. And if not, I think I'm done with the main points.
Perfect, Sharian. So as Sharian said, feel free to put your questions in the chat box and we'll do our best to answer them at the end. Sharian also shared, as well as our other chapter presidents, her contact details here. So you can find details on the chapter on the HEC alumni page, and you can also contact our chapter presidents directly through their email address, which we are very thankful to all our chapter presidents for sharing. We're going to move to Senegal with Habib.
Hello, everybody. I would like just to talk to Senegal, our chapter. And we have about 85 alumni estimated in church, 35 living in Senegal, mainly in Dakar, and around 50 alumni spread outside of Senegal. Our community is spread in various cities all around the world, in Paris, in New York, in Africa, very spread. We have a very diverse breakdown, balance, we mix between Grand École, MBA, executive MBA, and masters. But I think that the Grand École is most present here in Senegal. Also, we have various nationalities represented in Senegal, just because we have the central bank of 8 countries here, BCAO, and we have a national agency, International Agency of Navigation is present in Senegal. And all these kind of companies work with various nationalities. For our activities, we have first, and we are very proud of that, alumni lunch once a month. Every month we have a lunch all around all the HECs in a hotel here in Dakar, and we can stay around 4 or 5 hours lunching and discussing, chatting and networking. I think it's something very regular, but we didn't have it. We have it just last week, last Saturday, but due to the COVID-19, it was very hard to organize it, but we have done it last Saturday. Event once a year with a guest speaker, leadership roundup, HEC roundup, and it's a very known activity here in Dakar, and We have something like 500 personalities attended this event. We have also punctual solidarity activities like action toward the albinos community. We've done it last year in 2018. And talking about the market landscape, we have mixed between Senegalese government. We have Senegalese large company, bank and financial services. We have also pharma, mechanical, professional services, luxury goods and hospitality, NGOs and consulting. A lot of individual consultants are present here in Senegal. Talking about the local tips to network, you have to know that Senegal is a small country by the style, but huge by history, influence, and people. It's also a small village, especially Dakar. Knowing the good person, the right person is key to understand the landscape and vital to develop any kind of business. Also, being able to embrace the local culture is useful, and being able to speak Wolof is highly appreciated. Some words in any context. The Senegalese philosophy is teranga, is our way of life. That means do everything to make the foreigner feel at home. Teranga is the key for our way of life. We have to do the best, all our best for foreigner feel at home. And key contacts are my number to me, 0021 771 802 And you can join me also by mail, abib.by@mail.com or hcalumnisenegal@gmail.com. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Habib. That was great. And this is really what makes with all of our chapter presidents being here today. It's that those local tips that you can share with us on how to approach the country and the community. So thanks for that. We're now going to move on to Burkina Faso with Stéphane. Stéphane and Abbas, can you hear us? You want to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
We can. Welcome, Stéphane.
Okay, great. Sorry for this small, just the time to put back the presentation on.
Stéphane, if you're able to switch on your camera, it's great to see you. If not, no problem.
That too, no problem.
Right, thank you.
I'm a bit against the lights, so I hope it's going to be okay. Yeah, so basically, thank you again, guys, for organizing this great event to allow us to know a lot about different chapters in Africa. I'm president of the Burkina Faso chapter. The chapter is about 12 alumni, and it was created in 2019 when I actually came to Burkina Faso. So the chapter is pretty young, but it's a really close knit of people with a wide range of industry, graduation, or like different, how can I say that in English? With all the different degrees that we have in HSC represented. As you can see on the presentation, you have 25% from the Grand École, 17 from MBA, and 33 from masters and specialized masters. And as I was saying, you have also a wide range of promotion. We go from 1976 to 2021. That's a really good range because we have very senior executive, which are really powerful in the country in the group, while we also have very young graduates which are in the group. So that's make a very diverse and very rich group that we are very proud of. So in terms of activity, as I was saying, we are pretty young, so we're dynamizing, like trying to make some dynamic in the group. Last year, what we did was, even with the COVID, some afterworks. We made 3 to 4 afterwork last year. The conference, we organized a conference with one minister, the Minister of Commerce here in Burkina Faso. And the 2 last ones are the thing that we're trying to improve this year as well, is the visit to support different members of the chapter. For instance, we have chapter members here that are working on. It's a small noise.
Yeah, Stefan, can you?
Okay, we have different chapters here that are working.
I think we can hear you.
Okay, the noise has gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are different chapter members that are working on startup projects. So the whole chapter is trying to help them, to give them some visibility and to help them structure their project, succeed in their project. And the two last information that I can share with you guys is about the networking landscape and how to kind of like enter Burkina Faso if you're looking for a job. So basically, the market is really pretty wide, but the most important industry in Burkina Faso today is the mining sector. It represents about 50% of the industry today in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is like the third exporter in gold in Africa after Ghana and South Africa. So if you're looking for mining, definitely consider Burkina Faso, and there are different ways to network into that industry. If you want to come to Burkina Faso, you can just reach out and we're going to help you. Other sectors are banking sectors, but this is a little less developed than mining, and also international organization. You should know that a lot of ONG and World Bank, all these kind of projects are present in Burkina Faso because of the structure of the country and the level of development. So there are a lot of projects in that regard that are going on in Burkina Faso as well, if you're looking for that. Now, how can you then enter all that with network? So you have to understand that Burkina Faso is a French-speaking country. So if you don't speak French, it's not going to be that easy, but it's still feasible. But it's better if you do speak French. It's also a country that have a pretty good and strong local culture. So you will have to adapt also to that culture. It's mostly a Muslim country. So these have to be considered also. You can also use Chamber of Commerce as in other country to enter. Even the French, there's some French organization support by the embassy to help people to find jobs in Burkina Faso. If you want, you can also get in touch with them. And for all those kind of information and tips, you can reach out to me. I'm kind of pretty available in that regard, or to any person of the office. We are actually 4 in the office of chapter of Burkina Faso right now. And I think the list of the office is on the HEC website. You can drop an email to any of us. We'll be really happy to help and to connect you with the right people for the right industry that you're looking for here in Burkina Faso. And even if possible, then also an alumni, because right now we are 12, as I was saying, and we know each other, like all of us, we know each other. So it's going to be much easier to connect you to any of our alumni in Burkina Faso. Yeah. So thank you for your attention.
A small but dynamic group. Thank you very much, Stéphane, for your presence, and to your bureau as well. I believe a few of them are with us tonight. We're now going to move to Côte d'Ivoire, and Jean-André, I believe, is going to present on behalf of Daouda. Just before Jean-André, and while Jean-André is connecting, we will be sharing slides and a recording, as Clémence wrote in the chat box. So we will be sharing this recording with all of the participants. Jean-André, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, and can I remind everyone to put themselves on mute?
Apparently Daouda is there. I was hearing that Daouda.
Yeah. But
oh, okay. So I'm letting him talk because I was supposed to do it on behalf of him, but he's there, so he can talk.
No, Jean-André, go ahead. Vas-y.
Okay. So the president is letting me continue. So before moving forward, welcome, President. Daouda is my president, as you saw it. He is the creator of the chapter. He did it more than 20 years ago. And when he was doing it with 2 or 3 of his friends, there were only 3 or 4 people. It was at that time very difficult to find people who graduate from HEC Paris in Côte d'Ivoire, because so Daouda and his friends did a great job. Because of them and thanks to them, today we are more than 140 alumni. 33 Grand École graduates, 12 MBAs, 57 EMBA, 4 Triumph, 1 PhD, and around 40 specialized master. And the promotion ranges from 1962 to 2020, and we are respecting the gender parity. We do have 50% of women and 50% of men. So as you can see, Cote d'Ivoire is really a great place. Before the COVID, we used to organize 3-4 dinner per year, which we called alumni drink, to work on our network and to let the new alumni meet the hard one. And in coordination with the local office, which is also represented here by Alexis Jonaye, the president, so Dauda, launched a quarterly event, which is called CEO Talk. We used to invite people, leaders, will impact the life of people in Cote d'Ivoire, in Africa, everywhere. So we used to invite them to talk about the experience and to share the experience with people of the alumni members, but also people who could come from outside the group. We also used to organize what we called HEC Day 1 time per year, because for us, it was how we could help other people in Ivory Coast, other students, to be more informed about HEC. So we could have the best of the best students in Ivory Coast to go to this school. So we used to organize this HEC Day one time per year to let them know and to give them all the information needed to be able to prepare themselves for the school. We also organize a conference, masterclass, which HEC professor for 3 times per year, which is also done, I think, in coordination with the local office managed by Alexis. And once per year, we do have a HEC Alumni Gala, this great events where we used to drink a lot of champagne bought by the president. And we talk about everything, politics, business, and everything, to just share some news and some information between us. The market landscape, I think most of people in this alumni group are working in the international companies in diverse industries, mainly in banks. Dauda is CEO of a bank as well. And consulting and financial services. We also have many entrepreneurs, but among us, we also have high-level public servants. They are working in the government, and that's a high-level position. And the local tips to network, we do have the HEC Bureau, which is, as I said it earlier, managed by Alexis. We also have some events, activities organized in coordination with HEC Paris. And people like to socialize when drinking after work. So we also have, we also like it. So the importance of social drinks is really important in Ivory Coast. So we used to attend this kind of event to socialize with people we don't know and to meet new people. WhatsApp and SMS maintain relationships, yes, because our group, the alumni group, is really busy. Our WhatsApp is busy. I think on the WhatsApp, we must be more than 200, because people from the other countries used to stay in the group even when they leave Cote d'Ivoire. So the WhatsApp group is really important and is helping us to maintain our relationship. We also have, the president is also a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So through this Chamber of Commerce, you can also increase your network. And as an Ivorian, we always take it easy, never complain. We are patient and enjoy a beautiful place, Abidjan. But you also have a lot of other beautiful places in the country. So you are welcome to visit and to be helped by one of the members of HSC alumni chapters of Abidjan. So the key contacts indeed is the president. You do have his email there, and you also have his HSC email there. So you can feel free to contact him. He's always happy to help, happy to give the right information to people. So thank you for having listened to me.
Yeah, thank you, Jean-André.
Yeah.
Just to add some words, Cote d'Ivoire is the leader in the area, West African area, and Cote d'Ivoire is also #1 in producing coconut. So every time you have a tea of a cup of chocolate, think about Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is also the #1 in producing cashew nuts. So it's something to know, and there is many things to do in Cote d'Ivoire. So you are welcome, and we'll be glad to receive you. It is one of the most dynamic chapter in Africa. I guess Alice can confirm. And we also use to receive our friend coming from other country, like Stefan, like Habib. So you are welcome in Cote d'Ivoire when you want, and it will be our pleasure to receive you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm in another meeting, so it is why I asked Jean-André to present the chapter. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, President.
Okay.
And thank you to both of you and all your team for your presence. And it's also a great opportunity for us to say thank you very much to the international offices led by Alexis, who's here, also with Anaïs and Edwige, who helped us organize this event. Alexis is the director when HEC opened an office in Western and Central Africa. So he's the director of the HEC office based in Abidjan and covers the continent. So thank you very much to the team for their help in animating the network.
You're welcome.
And Philippe Auster was there before with Gabriela. So there is also the team based in Guyane-Rosas.
A great team of international people. We're going to move on to Nigeria with Ashley.
Hi, good evening and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ashley Lewis, and I'm the president of the Nigerian chapter. I'm so excited about our chapter. We actually started this chapter in 2018 after a lot of intervention, actually of visits. During that time, there was a lot of excitement about the connection between Nigeria and France. We had a number of visitors come from HEC and across France in general, and that really just boosted our profile as an institution and also gave us the motivation to start this chapter. So we started in, I believe, July. And since then, we have had an interesting experience because we had the COVID experience, which took us mostly digital. But before we got into COVID, we did have a number of activities that we were able to do with the community. So just to share a little bit more about who we are, we actually, what I think is really interesting is we have quite a few TRIUM MBA participants in our chapter, which gives us a very kind of international and multi-school background to our group. And so many of them have gone through the NYU extension, for example. And unlike other chapters, most of our alumni are from the MBA, Executive MBA, or TRIUM. And the promotion really spans. We have a little less than 40 participants in the group. I think that's, you know, when I heard the Morocco chapter over 1,000, and it's great to hear a lot of the Francophone countries have such robust chapters. I think in Nigeria, our goal is actually to elevate the presence and the awareness about HEC in the country. And so we do quite a bit of activities between existing MBA students, meaning students that are currently on campus, and those who have recently graduated. And so if you look at our activities, most of it is around MBA student recruitment events to build the brand in the country, also sending off those MBA students. One of our last events was as students went to campus in September, welcoming them into the community and being a source of support as they start their HEC experience. And I think that that's really important as they consider transitioning back to Nigeria post-graduation, making our chapter more robust and lively. And then we do a number of networking and cocktail events. One of the things that we did want to kick off right before COVID started was more industry specialized events based off of chapter participants. So going and visiting different offices, learning about different industries, and really bringing to life what our community members are doing on a day-to-day basis. Now, when I think about the market landscape, many of you think of Nigeria and you probably think of like powerhouse economy in Africa and also in West Africa, and that still rings true. Most of our activities here are in the oil and gas sector, consulting and finance, and then entrepreneurial ventures. I think I would be remiss to say or not mention the power of technology and the impact that it has on the Nigerian economy. If any of you are reading the news about the venture capital space, we have a lot of really exciting activities happening here. And if I look at both the existing alumni as well as the students that are transitioning to HEC, there's a huge amount of interest or connection to the venture capital space or the actual tech ecosystem. So I think that brings a really interesting dynamic to the community. Now, when I think about like local tips to network, I like to say, you know, on the ground presence is really what keeps Lagos going. It's kind of like an out of sight, out of mind. If you want to do business here and if you want to succeed, I think being on the ground is of utmost importance. However, I think we have ushered in the digital age and people are feeling more comfortable interacting remotely and doing business remotely. But I think for anyone that's looking to engage in entrepreneurial ventures or engage from a commercial perspective, coming to Lagos or coming to Abuja is extremely important. I'd also say that the social networks here are extremely tight knit, and strong reference checking is really important, you know, as you're networking or looking to engage in business. And while I am not Nigerian by birth, I feel like I've been adopted into the community. And so Nigerians are extremely proud of their culture and thoroughly enjoy social activities and celebrations. So if you find yourself here for any reason, the Nigeria chapter will welcome you. We'd be more than happy to host you and support you in the activities that you're doing. So my email is there. I'm ashley.lewis@hec.edu, and looking forward to engaging.
Brilliant. Thank Ashley for that. We're now going to move to Gabon with Charles. Charles, if you want to make sure that you're not muted and tell us more about Gabon.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can. Perfect. Welcome.
Can you see me? Because I can't see myself on the screen. Okay, excellent.
Perfect.
Okay, hi, everyone. My name is Charles Bukinda, EMBA 15. I'm very happy to meet the large family of HEC coming from all over the world. Okay, we have a very new chapter created last year in January 2020, just 3 months before the first case of COVID-19 in the country. The chapter is a family of about 20 people. We are not so good in terms of gender equality, because actually we just have three women in the group as part of the members. Still, it's a very dynamic group with a very impressive diversity in terms of origin, nationalities, professional background. We have EMBA 75 in the group. I think it was a colleague of, how do you call it? The last chairman of international, okay, I will get it back. We used to have a monthly after work closing with a dinner, but we stopped it, everything when the government restriction came related with the sanitary crisis. We still have a WhatsApp group. We're still sharing personal news for between each other and businesses information. In March 2020, we were preparing two major events in collaboration with Ivory Coast. It was a CEO talk with a woman, and also a free training on strategy involving CEOs and managers of companies in Gabon. Looking at local tips to network, Gabon, okay, let's say it's a very small country with only 2 million people, 2 million population. There is a nice 900 kilometers on sea coast. The economy has been almost driven by the oil industry. We still have a lot of opportunities for businesses in terms of in various sectors like services, financial transactions, agriculture, transformation industry. So we are all welcome to think about investing in Gabon. The team is ready to receive everyone interested in coming in Gabon. Okay, you have my email address at the end of the presentation of the slide. I'm currently the president of a chapter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles, and thank you for these details. I'm going to move on to South Africa with Henri. Henri, if you want to unmute yourself.
Okay, yes. Good evening to everybody, and good evening from South Africa. We are in the middle of autumn, close to the winter. Okay, and just to give you the mood in these countries, okay, bar and restaurants are open. You could meet people in the office. That means, in other words, it's paradise. Okay.
We are jealous, Henry.
Yes. In terms of activities, I was very lazy the last years, okay, but I promised to the team in Paris that everything will be in order in the next 2 months. I'm updating the list. According to the first survey, we couldn't be more than 70, 80 people, okay, and so on. I believe we will organize that events, same kind of events organized in the other chapters. But I believe one the idea I have, because the network is not so easy in South Africa. It means it's a country of countries. Okay, it means while you are in Johannesburg, you are not in Cape Town, you are not in Durban. It's different. It's clusters. Okay, and it's not so easy to enter in a network or to manage a network in South Africa. You have maybe to manage 2 or 3 networks by town. Okay, I believe my idea would be, and after having heard everybody from Nigeria and other countries, but I'm thinking about mostly to the French African speaking countries. If the HEC alumni, the chapter of South Africa, could bring to the South African one business some views on French speaking African countries, will be warmly welcome. These guys know very well English speaking African countries. They are not scared to invest outside of their borders, but they are a bit reluctant, and they don't know just know just a few things about French-speaking African countries, and be it one the way we could work when everything will be in order. In terms of jobs and skills, quite interesting period for everybody who is interested in working in this amazing country, difficult but amazing countries. After some years of, I could say, sensitive governance with a former president, after the COVID crisis, everybody is hoping that we could have an exit after COVID, quite exciting, and there is a lot of investments which are on the table. Okay, and for sure to make it work, these people need skills. Okay, it's an underpopulated country, 65, 68, but million people living there, but for a country which is 2.5 times greater than France. Okay. Second things, they realize now that they missed a step after the end of the apartheid. Okay, the lack of skills and of information, and now they are quite interesting to welcome foreign skills. Okay, they have, and I could. It's not fixed for the time being, but I will send you a list of skills they could need. But it's big opportunity. As you know, South Africa is a very diversified country, from mining to high tech. Okay, it's quite huge and quite wide. And as well, which is quite interesting, it's I could say I don't want to challenge Morocco and Nigeria, but definitively it's, for me, it's one of the biggest, it's the biggest hub for Africa. They are interesting in everything in Africa. They could invest everywhere in Africa, mostly in English-speaking African countries. They could invest in French-speaking African countries, but they don't know for the time being, okay? And for me, it's a big opportunity for that. The problem here, maybe it's true for every country. South Africa is a complicated country, and you know a bit the history of the country. And I think that all HEC alumni I met during my stay in South Africa, they are passing too quickly, 3 years, 4 years. And as you said, 1 year to get used, 1 year to enjoy, and the third year to prepare the pack. It means, and for me, it's a bit difficult. And you can, definitively, you can enter in the French network or French South African network, like Conseiller des Commerces Extérieurs, French South African Chamber of Commerce, okay, quite easy. But definitively, if you want to network with the business community, the South African business community, it's a bit hard, okay? That means it's not so easy, because whatever there as is this businessman, black, white, colored, and so on, it's not so open business. It's an open economy, liberal economy, but they are not so keen to share the business they have. It means it's a very difficult. I repeat, what is for me is quite important. It's to bring some added value through the knowledge of French-speaking African countries we could have. At this stage, I believe that investments, we are looking, these countries are looking for investments. They're looking for private equity guys, from bankers, from merchant banks, experts, okay, for high-tech manager, for logistic managers. They're looking in as well in agribusiness for people who are expert in what we call smart agriculture and so on. Quite open. There is no, just to give you the shift. When I arrive in South Africa, mine, well, at the top of the list. Mine is not so many prominent as it was in the past right now, okay? It's more on the services side. You could have skills. Which means, in other words, you are absolutely welcome to skills. I have questions from Marie-Jo to me. Skills, what about project manager? Absolutely, project manager, quite important, okay? Because when you speak about investments, okay, for sure, when you start an investments mean your projects. Investments could take 1 year, 2 years, to 3 years to be true, to be real, to be operational, to be effective, and they need absolutely project managers. What else I could add? The best entry point is Johannesburg, okay, definitively. Okay, definitively more than Cape Town, because Johannesburg is really a place where you can work, and I have maybe some work to do for HEC, because I'm sure that in the surrounding countries like Zimbabwe, Zambia, Angola, and Mozambique, you have very top-level HEC guys, either working either in the business or in the administration, which means I have to do that work. It's a vibrant zone area, okay, and many opportunities. Welcome to everybody. You can Alice, Asa, you can disclose my numbers, phone details, and mail. I'm sure you will be warmly welcome. Just
Perfect.
first one, spend time, invest your time in South Africa. Don't pass too quickly.
Thank you very much, Henri. And we do have your email here that will be shared with everyone when we share the slides. So thanks again for these tips. Again, this is a great opportunity for you to have access to the chapter president and know who the chapter president is, to take the conversation further and ask more individual or specific questions. We also encourage you to go on the hecalumni.fr website and join the different chapters. So if you go on the hecalumni.fr website under networks or réseau and international chapters, you can find chapters per country and you can join them. Even if you're not based in that country, you can join them so that you are invited to events or so that you have the contact of each chapter president. Just before we wrap up, and we'll share a few words of advice to wrap up, I'd like to thank again the office and Alexis for his presence and allow him to share a few words with you if he would like to.
Thank you, Alisa. I'm very glad to enjoy this special evening with you. Clémence and you, very great job. Abidjan office was inaugurated almost 3 years ago, and we are working on the development of the schools in this area, West and Central Africa, by marketing the executive education programs, and also by working with the whole business unit of the school, mainly Grande École, EMBA schools and MBA schools and others. I'm very happy to tell you that we are preparing the launch of a new program to support entrepreneurs of this region, the program called Challenge Plus. And I will be happy to discuss this program with you if you're interested. We'll be very happy to have some entrepreneurs from your country to join us for this new program we are launching. Challenge Plus is a 30-year-old program in HEC Paris, and it's a very successful entrepreneurs program. So I'm very happy to share this information with you. I'm very happy to enjoy this moment with all of you, and hopefully that Clémence and Alisa, you will prepare this kind of session for us regularly. And thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis, and thanks to all the team. So, sincere thank you to all of our alumni and our chapter presidents, and to the International Office for your presence. Again, to all of you, we hope that this will give you an opportunity to get an overview of the continent and take those conversations further. Here are also contacts in other countries. So you can find these contacts and these emails on the HEC alumni website, but we also have Kenya, Madagascar, Mauritius, Tunisia, Egypt, and Cameroon, which we're recruiting for. And these slides will be shared with you. Now, it is impossible for us to share everything in just 1 hour. So we will send you the slides as we said, and make sure you keep an eye on the hecalumni.fr website for upcoming events. You can also reach out individually to be added to the WhatsApp groups that were mentioned, some newsletters, or some of the chapters. And of course, we ask that you use your common sense when reaching out to our busy alumni and respect their time. And to wrap up, and from experience, may I highlight that the network is as valuable as the amount of effort you're going to put into nurturing it. So now, in order to meet your expectations even further on local information, we're going to put a survey link in the chat box, and we invite you to fill out this survey to give more information to our chapter presidents on what interests you. And you can always reach out to the network team. So Clémence Pontuaire, who's my co-host here, who looks after the networks and clubs, and Ophélie, who just joined our team to work on international projects.
Yes, because I just would like to say something perhaps everybody doesn't know, but today is the last day of Alisa in HEC alumni. She's still an alumni, of course, but she will go to another path in alumni in the UK. And she has been with us until the last hours because she was the master of this ceremony of the Boost Your HEC Network in Africa. Thank you, Alisa. You have made an amazing job. Everybody, I think, knows that you have created so many relations. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Clémence, and thank you to all of you, and thank you to all our chapter presidents who gave it back a million times. On this note, I believe this brings us to the end of our Boost Your HEC Network in Africa presentation. So many thanks again to all our speakers and to you for your presence. And we look forward to hosting the next, or Ophélie and Clémence look forward to hosting the next regional webinar series on, I believe, the Middle East in mid-2021. So stay tuned. And thank you again, everyone, for your presence. Start connecting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great day or evening. Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget to share our presentation,
Bye bye.
please.
Thank you.
We
Bye-bye.
will.
Okay, thank you. Bye.